Good evening, everyone. My name is John DeMuth, and this is another episode of Whip Finish Wednesday as we hang out here and tie some flies with you live Wednesday night. I would say every Wednesday night, but not every Wednesday night, but a lot of them. The Our goal here is to get you guys tying and see the work that you all put out. So if you all do tie a fly from this week's episode or any other episode, feel free to email it to us at demuthflyfishing@gmail.com. Or you can tag us and tag us in the photograph on Instagram, and we will share and over manning the computer and manning all the oh goodness, the different camera audio visual effects. That's right. Is my wife Katie, and we enjoy hanging out with everyone. And unfortunately, as normal, I'm trying to figure out get some comments going, so I can chat with you all. So as we're tying, as we're going over everything. What's up, Bill? Bill is the first comment I saw, and unfortunately, I bet everyone else has been commenting. What's up, Mike? Finally, get to see some people saying, "Hey." So it works a lot better when I can see people. So Katie and I have got the wonderful opportunity, and we will be leaving next early Thursday morning to head out to Denver to tie at Charlie's Fly Box on Saturday. He's having an Umpqua open house day, and I think it's gonna be food and tying, fishing, talk, and all that good stuff. And now I finally see everyone. What's up, Jeff and Barry and Troy and Gary and Christopher Rice, Mike and James? New flashback. Haven't seen you in a while, or maybe I have, but it's good seeing you. New flashback back on here. But Katie and I are going down there Thursday, and we're going to stay till the next Thursday. So we're going to be able to fish with quite a few people. We're looking forward to hanging out with Phil Wani in Denver and fishing with some of his friends, Kat Troy, Rim Chung. And then we're going to cap the week off on Wednesday by fishing with the one and only Charlie Craven. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, as we do, we ask, what kind of flies do we need to bring? What all? And if any of y'all ever come fishing with me, you can bring whatever flies you want, and I'm happy to give suggestions. But I'm sure Phil and all the people there, just like me, I could probably show up with no flies and be just fine. But Phil did a very good job. Sent me a comprehensive list of flies that are working right now. Hey, Misha. And basically just small blue olives, betas, and midges. I think the biggest fly that he said that we would be fishing would be a 20. And he did say Cat has a pattern. This a leech. This is a size 16, but other than that leech, everything else is pretty small. What's up, Ore? Hey, y'all, the flies will flow. And Michael Ragsdale, our buddy from Florida. Florida, not Florida. So it's good y'all are hanging out. So tonight, Charlie actually said a size 20 bar emerger, and Phil said a size 22 bar emerger. So we're going to start with the 20 because that's so much bigger, and go down to a 22. And this is what we're going to tie. I've got a cup. I'd like to say full of them, but with a handful of them here that I've been tying up. I don't know which one we posted, but here is one of the ones, and this is basically what we're going to tie. And it's not too big a deal. It's just thread control, keeping your materials as minimal as possible. And that one looks like it's got a few too many legs or fibers for. Yes, all John Barr's flies will work. I hope so. And Derek, I don't know where you're from, Derek, but that's what's happening here in East Tennessee. The weather is definitely warming up, and we're getting some quill Gordons popping off. And hopefully this weekend going to be in the park in the Smokies and be able to do a little dry fly fishing, hopefully. Colorado. Well, shoot us a note next week, and maybe we can get together and come over to Charlie's. If nothing else, we'll tie a fly and hang out there. But anyway, so that's what we're going to tie. Katie does have a couple pictures she's going to show here in a little bit. You want to say anything, hon?
Yeah, I do have some pictures. Just a couple. Just a couple, three.
Couple, three. We'll go get one of these flies. Okay. If you're fishing with Rick, you better tie some RS2s. Well, you know, I was going to tie some RS2s, and but we're going to be hanging out with Rim Chung, and we're going to have a day that we're going to tie with Rim Chung. And I thought, you know, that it's not that difficult of a tie. I can tie, I won't say a lot of them pretty quick, but I want to watch Rim Chung tie his RS2 and tie it correctly, and then I can feel comfortable tying them because we've all tied a bunch of RS2s in the past, and they've worked. But there's probably that one trick, that one little thing. If I show up with 24 RS2s or whatever, then you know, I want to make sure that Rim approves of my RS2s. So that's going to be fun hanging out and tying with them. So the hook we have in the vise is the Tiemco 2487, and I just now put a size 20 in. So this is a big one. See, here we go, size 20. So this is a big one for all of us that are sight impaired, like myself. The thread I'm going to use is steel, steel Silverfly Classic Wax thread, 12/0. And one thing I did want to point out, we'll switch over to the side here. This fly, Charlie does such a good job on his step-by-step tutorials. I know he's got a YouTube video on this. What's up, Jeff or Joe? I know he's got a YouTube video on this. We've tied this fly, the CDC Golden Stone, on the show, and it works really well here. I'm sure it works good in Colorado. But the Barr merger is here in this book. So if you're looking for a good book to have on hand, this is another one that I would highly recommend. Tying Nymphs from Charlie Craven himself. What's up, Al? Fancy seeing you here, buddy. And Nan, love the whole crew getting back together. Okay, so gone over the book, and let's tie a fly. So like I said, we got the steel colored 12/0 Classic Wax thread. I'm going to start the thread, right, let's switch over to the hook. There we go. I'm going to start the thread right behind, or about an eye length behind the hook eye. So there's a little bit of bear hook there, like so. And you guys ask whatever questions that you might have as I'm tying. So the next thing that that it calls for is brown spade hackle. So where I was tying, I can't remember what fly it was, but I had some just random spade hackles sitting around for tailing material. And then I realized they were actually some of them anyway, were CDL, Coq de Leon, in brown and grizzly. So I had to find it done, and the CDL works pretty good. So grab about a dozen or so fibers. Steve Yates will tell us exactly how many that is, but that's roughly how many I'm gonna get. Pull it off. Now the CDL is super long, so you don't have to worry too much about your length. But what you want to do is make sure you cut off enough so the webbing is not going to be part of your tail, because you want these to be nice and smooth and nice and what's the word? I can't remember. You don't want the webbing in your tail or your wing, the legs. So we're going to wrap this until that tail goes pretty much straight down. Bring it back up. We're going to bury those butt ends just like that. Katie Nan is
I know, I gave her high fives. You were talking, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Ooh. Here's a question for you guys. Get you all chatting. I went to the Tailwater Fly Company in Bluff City, which is on the bottom of the tailwater of the South Holston. It's a brand new fly shop. And I always like to get something when I go to fly shops, just to, if nothing else, to support them. And I found some strip peacock quills, got some of those. And I got Katie a fancy bar soap.
It smells amazing.
It smells delish.
I think it was called Tailwater
Flyco.
So, yeah.
But I also picked up one of these. Have you all ever seen those? And this is kind of dumb. $10, get you 2 rubber bands. But I've used rubber bands before on my pack to dry the flies, dry fly. But
Derek
you know,
uses them.
when I use them, they either get lost or they break or whatever. And so, Derek, you're familiar with these. I wasn't. I guess I was born yesterday because I'd heard about the most expensive rubber band you'll buy. But I picked these up, and I'm looking forward to trying them. And basically, you have it hooked onto your vest or your pack, and you've got your dry fly, and you hook it to this little loop here, and you pull it tight, and then you strum it like a banjo, like that, and you play a little song. But that I've seen Lance Egan talk about it, and he does it, and that's how he dries his CDC before he puts his floating back on it. But anyway, picked up these banjos, and I've got one on my pack right now. I'm looking forward to trying it out. And I've got another one, this one right here, that has Katie's name on it, but on her little vest.
Yay!
In the comp scene, that's where I got it last week. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, a rubber band's free, so I don't know if it'll ever be like financially worth $10 or $5 for a rubber band. But if I don't have to worry about losing them, or if they just stay put, then I think it's going to be a nice little addition to my fishing thing. Okay, so next we're going to go with olive brown, and this is what in the book Charlie Craven says to use olive brown superfine. You can use, I'll probably use that, and I'll probably go back to like a blue wing olive superfine as well. Oh, let's see if I can find it here. The blue wing olive. He also has a PMD version as well. I have a cylinder thing that I put my flies in to dry, maybe fish pond. Yeah, that's we've got something similar as well. Are you talking about the thing that has like the dust in it, like the Dry Magic? It's kind of a cylinder thing. And that's different. So I would use the dust as well as that rubber band. Okay, well, shucks, I was talking, I got a ball of dubbing. So really the hard part about this fly is getting your dubbing needle correct. And like I said, I just got like a ball on mine, which was not what I wanted at all. It's the fun about doing it live. So we'll start over. But you want to put just a teeny, like just color the thread with the dubbing. And if you can even see part of the thread through dubbing, that's okay. We're just trying to color the thread. If you build a little bit of taper, that's okay, but don't try to like build a whole lot of taper. Run of your banjo. That soap is made by Catskill Fly Tire Guild member. Oh, I didn't know that, Tom Fly. Saw that movie Guild. See, went fishing there. The peach. It's called sulfur. Is the smell of it, but it doesn't smell like sulfurs, and doesn't smell like sulfur. All right. So as you see, I've got just a teeny bit on there. Maybe you can see it. Less is truly more. Don't overdo this part. So I'm going to try to slide that up. And I'm going to work my thread back. So as you can see, I've got bare thread here. Work my thread back so the dubbing starts right by the tail right there. So then we'll start working our way up. See, that's real fine, real smooth. See that? I mean, when I look at it in the camera, I can see what I'm doing a little more. But it doesn't even look like there's hardly any dubbing on it in IRL. Okay, so when you get it done, and I don't even want that little bit of a bump there, so we'll undo that. Another wrap here. When you get done, just kind of strip everything off like that. Put your wrap in. Then we'll just cut this off as opposed to pulling it. No, I got that done. Christina Muller has the Tailwater Soap Company. Awesome. Okay, Christina Muller. Let's. John is the guy's name that owns Tailwater Fly Comb, and he said that that it's made up in New York, so that makes sense. Makes sense that that's because she's the one that makes it. It's really good stuff. If it lasts a long time, then great. If it doesn't, then other things to complain about. Okay, so now I've got another CDL in medium done. Now the recipe calls for dark done, but I didn't have any dark done handy. So I'm gonna grab, once again, about a dozen or so. So let's see, that's probably a few too many. So about that many here. Grab it off. Now you can see here, shoot, if I can get it straightened out. See that line right there? That's right by the hook eye now, that line of thread. So this side of it, my fingernail is here, is kind of webby, and this side's what we want. So I'm gonna pull this off. That, see how I pull that off? And I'm gonna cut off more. I'm gonna cut that much of it off. So I just have the good stiff fibers left. So we'll put a wrap in here. I want it to go back because I don't want to crowd that hook eye. Pull this back a little bit more. Just like that. Keeping those fibers on top of the hook shank. Just like that right there. Everyone good so far? No problem. No issues. Same thing with the Adams color dubbing for the thorax. You see how just a teeny bit. That's probably enough for two, probably. But just a little itty bit. And in Charlie's book, he's got a good tip for this part of it. And that's when you start, you want it to be as absolute thin as possible, because we're going to basically put texture on the thorax as we work our way back. So undo that one. So leaving that one little bit open right behind the hook eye. Now we got that built up there. Now we're going to build a little bit of bulk here. This is really where the taper comes in. Just like that. And you see, now we've got that clean part of the hook eye there, 3.7. Steve, I just looked over. I don't know what you're talking about. 3.7. What is that? I don't know. So I'm going to grab my hackle tips, pull forward. So this makes our little wing case here. See how that looks? And if it's not quite even, like this one's not, like try to pull it over the side a little bit, try to spread it out a little bit. That'll be just fine. Hold that on top of the hook shank like that. We'll look at it. I'll work our way back. So you see why we needed that little bit of space behind the hook eye, so we could do this step right here. Take your thumbnail, after you got a couple wraps in there, push back like that. So that kind of opens everything up. So you can see there's kind of a natural split in there. And, you know, if you don't have the exact number on each side, it'll be okay. So I'm going to take my legs on this side. I'm going to hold them up. I'm going to put two wraps, 1, 2, and I held them up kind of above the hook eye there. And then this one, I'm going to grab and I'm going to hold down, because that thread tension should work it up just a little bit. Couple wraps. So you can see how those are mounted in there now. And now we actually want to build a little bit of a head here. Not too much, because we still have our whip finish to go. Just like that. The tail fiber is caught. Oh, my tail fiber is caught. Oh, gosh. Well, hopefully it'll be okay. If if my tail fiber gets messed up because of the vise, then I don't think it's going to do well in the water. But thank you, Steve, for letting me know. So I'm really kind of being careful with this because I want to build up a little ball here. Let's see how that looks in the old camera. That was pretty good. All right. So now we take our scissors, pull all these the legs up. We just stick it right behind the thorax. Cut it like that. So you can see how that is, and we can push them back down if we want to make them look a little, I don't know.
The tail's a little long.
The tail is a touch long. Thank you, honey. I can always count on you guys. So the tail should be half the length of the fly, roughly. So we'll go like this and go bam.
Bam.
Like Emerald Lagasse. I don't think Emerald does bams anymore, but so now I'll take who, my favorite, my favorite girl. I would say my second favorite girl, but Misha would get her feelings hurt.
Yeah.
And then we've got Claire here as well, and she get her feelings hurt if it was like, okay, the dog and then the glue. Who's this Sally Hansen lady? Mom, are you okay with that? So got that on there. Take our trusty piece of scrap wire, run it through like this. And now we're good to go. And that's a giant size 20. So that is that's the Barr merger. And it looks like now, Steve, I couldn't see it till just now, but I see what you're talking about. Dadgummit. There we go. Man, I'm glad I found that one. I could not see that with just my naked eye. So let's see if I can get it trimmed off somewhat straight. This up. Go like that. Maybe catch it. There we go. Doggone, that thing is still long. How the heck? All right. There we go. That should work just fine. Sorry about that stuck. I thought you were talking about it was stuck in the back. So as you can see, I've got a nice little selection of the mull midge that we tied last week, different sizes here. And then some giant size, maybe 18s here. And these are going to go in that box for our trip. It was on the back side of a 20. I would have only seen it when I went to title. I don't know if I would have seen it then because I'm serious. I did not see it at all. So I'm going to be putting the size 22 in the vise while Katie shows you. We've got a couple pictures. Now it's too short. Ore, come on. You're probably right though. It is maybe a touch on the short side, just a touch. So Katie's going to show some pictures real quick. We'll turn it over to her.
Okay. So actually go ahead and do your hook on the vise.
Well, while she's doing that, I already put my hook in the vise. So, yeah. So I'm telling you, the you guys and your commentary as I'm tying makes this a lot of fun. We're missing Gary Barnes this evening, or where he's at, but it's a good. We got Steve with Magpie on here. Steven, excuse me. And he's got a new child that is taking up a lot of his sleep time. Hey, Mr. Grigsby, good to see you. That's another reason I always say your flies are so tight. Macrophotog gives you nowhere to hide. No, it does not. It just,
Hi.
Once you look at it under there. Okay, so here's Katie and Claire.
Hi. This is my daughter, Claire, and she is going to show the pictures tonight. And she has decided that she's going to attend the University of Tennessee in the fall, and she's going to be in the Chancellor's Honor Program there. So we are really excited to have another Vol in the family.
Why don't you put you back on? They don't want to look at me sitting here.
So I'm going to let Claire show the pictures tonight. So
Okay.
the first one we have is, this is the name you can say right here.
Can be
Yeah.
one.
So Ken B.
So Claire, he's from Australia, and he was on here earlier. So he's an Aussie that watches us every single week.
Yes.
Who's this one?
This one again, it would be Ken.
Can be as well. Okay.
Yes. And would you read right here what Ken wrote about his?
Yes. Mole flies are done. The 18s are possum tail dubbing. The 20s are beaver dubbing, and the 22s are fine possum dubbing. I didn't have any floral rubber, but I substituted with angel hair for the 18s. But they are okay.
They're perfect, Ken. And I love them.
And Claire, Nan, who is, I believe she lives in New York, her daughter was a Vol, and she's giving you lots of
Yes,
high fives.
Yes, that's right. Nan's girl is a Vol too, so we love Vols. Even though they came close in basketball this week, they didn't quite make it. But man, they were there. That was a heartbreaker. And then this is the last one we have right here, and this is MD Trout.
MD trout bug.
MD Trout.
Maryland trout bug.
Yes, from Maryland.
When I met him at one of the shows, I said, I thought you were a doctor. He said, no, I'm from Maryland.
Close enough.
And Al Kenton's daughter is a Vol as well.
Yay! We
So-
love our volunteers.
That's awesome, guys.
So Ken B is still here. So Claire, tell Ken B good job on his flies.
Good job, Kimby. They were awesome. They were amazing.
So
Thank you, Claire, for visiting the show. Has Claire ever been on the show?
I don't think
A
so.
long time ago.
A long time ago.
But it was fun. All right.
All right, back to your busyness.
My is over.
Yes. Thank you, Claire. Thanks
But-
everybody for being patient and letting her say hey. She's gonna go to college, I may not get these chances anymore, so you never know.
Go Pokes. That's what Magpie said. I don't even know who are the Pokes.
I don't know. Who are the Pokes?
I feel terrible not knowing who the Pokes are, but all right. So the like I said at the beginning of the show, we love it when you try to tie the fly that we tie each week. And it's not a matter Oklahoma State, okay. It's not a matter of whether you have the exact dubbing, the exact materials, the exact everything. You don't need to do that. Just use what you got. If you need help finding something, we can always help you find something. But the go Ducks. All right, Bill. It's not about having all the right materials. It's not about having a perfect fly or great photography. It's just a matter of making an effort, tying something up, because I promise you, if you don't tie it, you won't fish it. If you don't fish it, it's not going to catch a fish. So the only flies that are guaranteed not to work are the ones that you don't tie on the end of your tippet. So we're just trying to encourage you guys to get out and tie flies. So you can email them to us, the pictures, to demuthflyfishing@gmail.com. Or you can tag us on Instagram, but tag the photograph on Instagram, not just in the comments. It's fine to do the comments. It's fine to tag us in the story. But on the photograph itself, tag us so it'll show up in our feed and we can find it on Wednesday evening. So, so yeah, are you tying some of these to them? Or I don't know what you mean. Explain. So as I said, this is a pattern that I've been told by both Charlie Craven and Phil Awane to tie up for our upcoming trip to Colorado. So I'm gonna try I've got maybe a dozen of them tied so far. So we'll try to tie a couple more this evening and get these knocked out. And you guys ask whatever questions you might have, and we'll get to it. So I'm gonna go back with my brown spade hackle here. And it's fine to leave the butt ends on, but you just want to make sure you don't have that webbing in there. Pull this a little bit more. That should be good. Hold on top of the hook shank, and this is size 22. So even though my tail is actually about the same, maybe even a fiber or two more than that 20, you can go down in the number of fibers for sure as you go smaller. So we'll bury those butt ends here. Do you know which river? I think Decker's, 11 Mile Canyon. No, I'm just somewhat along for the ride, but I'm pretty sure Decker's and 11 Mile Canyon have been mentioned. Okay, so that was pretty simple as far as tying that on, but just real super thin. We don't want it thick at all. Start it here, bare thread, work our thread back so that dubbing is going to start right at the tail. But see, you can see how thin that is. That's pretty. Joe Jackson, I'm watching for tornadoes. Yeah, Joe sent me a note earlier with the weather map, and it definitely looks like some people. Now, see how this is getting, it's hard to tell, but it's a little bit flattened out. If I'll maybe slide out of the way, but if I'll just, since my dubbing is connected now, if I'll twist it, that'll cord up the dubbing as well as the thread. So it makes it a little bit easier to see. And now I'm just going to go up. Yeah, it's a little fat at the base. Yeah, we'll stick all that in there. Which are all South Platte, 11 Mile Canyon is about 8 miles from my door. Oh, Gary. Nice. That sounds pretty sweet. It's like you live in a nice fishy area. But, you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans are doing. So that's what we're just fortunate that we reached out to a few people, and some people have reached out to us and have offered to take us fishing in their backyard, and that's what we're going to do. Oh, and I do have my birthday present is coming in the mail. I've gotten one super cool birthday present, a new pair of tennis shoes. Hear me and everything. Spending on my end right now. Oh, yeah, it's coming back. You'll hear me.
Weird.
I can please try again later. Go and start working on it.
I think it's about to fix itself.
Hope so. I'm sitting here chatting, waiting on you guys to chime in here. If you can hear, say something. If you can't, we can't hear. The water. Oh, this is the fun part about YouTube. It's not. It does not play well sometimes. The fun part about having a really nice high resolution is there's a lot of data. Come on. Are you getting any comments on your end, honey?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what they are? Because I'm not getting anything. We'll just switch this, see if that'll work.
Al says it's lagging bad. Eric says better now.
Okay, so now I just restarted mine here. I'm back. Okay. So can you guys hear me, see me? Are we all good? White and yeah, New Balance official dash. Well, I've had the gray New Balances for quite some time. And Katie got me a new pair of Kiziks. You don't slip them on. You don't tie them. You just slip them on. So they're the lazy dad shoes. So remember, super fine on this part of it. Work our way back, because what we're going to do, what we don't want is to start here and then work our way forward and have the dubbing slide down to where we're going to make our head. So putting that real fine dubbing noodle is basically just building texture up on our thorax and making it to where when I go back forward, I can build my taper and it kind of stays in place where it's supposed to be. Just like that. So maybe I would say a touch big, but I think that's okay. All right, we're all back. Good, good, good. So yeah, well, that's what I do. I let my old ones go to the old lawn mowing bin for sure. So we'll lock this down. But I've got a new stick coming with a new reel and everything new. And I don't know if I want to spoil it by telling everything right now. Use your fingernail on this and splay it out. I ordered everything today, so hopefully it will be here and ready to go for our trip. So fingernail basically just fans everything out and splits everything. Then we'll get roughly half on one side, half on the other. Yeah, about like that. So this bundle I'm going to hold up high. So see, I'm holding it high. So when I put this wrap in, it pulls it down to where it needs to go. Put 2 wraps in, pull tight. See how it kind of fans it out? The next one I pull back and I hold low. Like that. I can't see it because I'm staring at the stupid light. And I'm going to bring this back, start building a little bit of a head. I don't like it when it does that. There we go. So I've got one going up here. Pull it down. And I really think I put too many fibers on because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's got, let's do this. There we go. Maybe get rid of one more. It's the easy way to fix having too many fibers. And this one's going to aggravate me, so I'll cut it off too. Nice. Now put a whip finish on. Got a load of snow. I saw that. And it's from Canada as well. You got it in before you had to pay extra tax on it.
Yeah, really. Thank goodness.
Sorry, I had to pay attention to the old whip finish there. So we got a nice head there. Pull this back, pull all that up. Scissor right behind the wing case, bring it down. Got it. That part looks good. So you don't even know. I can't count. I'll make the last one hopefully a little bit better. And that's the way it goes, isn't it? Like first one's not the best, second one's a little bit better, third one's, but for me, it's like the first one's not the best, second one's better, and the third one is worse than the first one, and then go back and forth. But you will probably be surprised at my pre-tying a lot of times for these shows. Sometimes I'll just tie one of something, then we'll go live on it. So there's that. But yes, Ross Reels just came out with a new version of their San Miguel reel. I'm looking.
It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty cool. That's one hint.
We're still coming through, aren't we? You got comments on yours? Yeah.
I've got El Canada from Magpie. That's all I've got. Well, that's the recent one we've got. Usually when it pauses like that, people are like, well, we saw him tie the fly. We'll see him next week. We will probably not be live next week. I don't know. We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do because we're going to be traveling the next morning. And I don't know. And then I'd like to go live with Charlie or somewhere at Charlie's Fly Box or in Denver. They'll be just using the old cell phone. So do we have time? Yeah, we started a little bit late, so we got time for one more. Thank you, Jason. So like I said, email, give this a shot. tie it up yourself. Don't worry about having everything perfect, and email us a picture of your fly to Gmail to demuthflyfishing@gmail.com. We'll share it whenever we do go live again.
I think Fred Hurst is staring right at you.
You think so?
It looks like he's looking at you.
He is kind of eyeballing me a little bit. I'll happily have the dud ones. It's a buggy one should work well in the pond. I was talking with Al Canton, or not Al Canton, John Tidlow today, and he's my buddy that I went fishing with a while back, and I gave him a handful of flies last time I went fishing. He said he caught 6 on one, and then the dry fly hackle was getting a little rough, so he took it off and he tied another one on, and he caught 8 before he called it a day on fishing, and that one is still tied onto his tippet. So, I'd like to think I'd catch more than 6 fish on a fly, but I'm pretty happy with that. Because normally I'll get something lost by the time I get to 6. Bury those butt ends. So I'm trying to make this a little bit thinner. All right. So remember, just a teeny bit of dubbing. The smallest amount, the better. Unfortunately, sometimes it's hard to keep up with. I'll try to make this one less buggy and a little more professional. Okay. Hey, there's Phil. So, Phil, that we've had a few people that actually live close to your way. I think Barry, who is on here, lives, I think he said 7 miles from the South Platte, I believe. And I had a few people ask some other flies that you would recommend. And I gave them somewhat your list. So remember, keep it really thin. Don't worry too much about taper at this point. It's better to have no taper and have it super thin. And if you've got a little bit extra like I've got here, you can build a little bit of taper if you want to. But see, that's not really necessary. Well, I hope so, Phil. Well, these are coming with me, so hopefully we'll give it a shot. The fly patch I use is a tacky tube. Okay. I have to use Amadou. Gotcha. All right, let's get our. Oh gosh, not as many this time. Our spade hackle fibers that we'll say spade, but really our CDL, because we're just using what's on our desk. So kind of tied along, put a couple wraps in, then we'll pull it the length. So leave that, as Charlie says, an index point behind the hook eye. Now all that's, if you're worried about your wing case not being wide enough, at this point you can take your fingernail and kind of push down on it, and that'll spread it out just a little bit. But now we're taking our thread back to the front, back to the future. I invited Jeff to come. We've got a 3-bedroom condo. He's welcome to come and hang out with us for a day, for the week, for however long. Okay, so we've got our very small noodle. Might need to add just a pinch more, but it's really hard to add just a pinch, because literally you want this to be as thin as possible. Okay, now we're going to work our thread with the dubbing back up. Try not to catch it on your hook point like I just did. Does kind of sound like it might be raining here. That's okay. I got the yard mowed earlier today.
Yes, you did.
There we go. Just like that. So we got that tied in. Tempting. Do you have a professional service come in and clean and straighten your desk? Mine doesn't look like that neat. No. And mine's actually kind of a bit of a wreck right now. A professional service would be kind of ridiculous because they would not put it back where, I mean, Katie doesn't even come in. I mean, I'm sure she would like to, but she doesn't come in and organize for me because I'd be like, honey, where'd you put and honey, where's this? She'd be like, I put it where it belongs. Okay, so we got a little bit of a head there. Take our fingernail again. Hit that so it kind of splays everything out like that. Take half this bunch. Hold the half on your side high. So when I wrap the thread over, it pushes down where it belongs. Couple wraps here. Now, let's see. I didn't do a good job splitting that. So we'll do this again. I'll bring this low. And there we go. Now we've got our wings or our legs. No, don't touch anything. Yeah. Now we want to build up just a little bit of a head that hopefully do this again. I'm going to do it with my whip finish. Like when I mean a head, like let's be kind of an obvious ball in the front. I'm going to go for a 6-turn whip finish. Live kind of crazy. There we go. So we got a nice little ball. Now we'll cut this one down, and that will be all she wrote.
Lovely.
Clean desk is sign of a sick mind. I must be above something. So this. Well, I mean, I like it when mine's reorganized and it's fun tying when I just have the materials and stuff out that I need, and I don't like it's easier to find stuff. I don't lose my hackle pliers or whatever tools I'm trying to find. I do like having a nice organized desk, but
As long as you know what you've got. If my desk was that messy, I would forget stuff that I had, and like I'd never use it because I'd be like, "Oh, I forgot I had that."
so
But you
Ori
know
didn't give me a hard
everything else,
time.
like, you know.
Well, I like to think I do. That's it. I know where everything is until I don't know where everything is, and then I'm kind of, holy moly. Then I'm kind of we'll cut just a little bit shorter, but I don't want Ori to give me a hard time.
Love it.
There we go. Now put a little bit of Sally's on there, and we'll call this a night. And Phil, I'm glad you found us on YouTube. This is the reason we like tying on YouTube better is for this right here. Katie, we put it on yourself for a second.
Well, it was on myself a second ago when I gave the camera a look like
Okay, well,
about your desk.
okay, so Phil, then you saw the one of Katie and put it on. There's Katie and there's me, and then the side piece, the side shot as well. So I'm able to show material prep and everything. This is something you just can't do on Instagram. Doing doing that. Mine's always trash. So yeah, like I've all the dry fly hackle. I've still got the floor fiber out from last week. I've got all the threads and just junk sitting out, and I did, just for the fun of it over here, I did pull out, if you are wondering something else you can use, let's switch back over to the side, please. For this fly, if you don't have the correct spade hackle or anything, you can just pull out, get a cape that you've got, and you can use the fibers here. They're going to be a little bit short, but you can use the fibers off of like the larger fibers off a cape that you probably don't use for much else. Yeah, so that's another little hint for you.
Oh,
Derek,
Ken, I
shoot us
wouldn't
a
hate your
note.
desk. I want people to have their desk the way they need it to be. You know,
That's right. That
like
is
some
absolutely
people
right.
function better with their stuff sort of laid out. Some people, like me, I have to have everything put away before I can start. So, you know, everybody's different.
And hope all is well with you. You'll say each other's. And know what
Now you know.
size 20 hooks. Yeah, the
Now you
big
know.
size 20 hooks. Because that was 120 and 222s, I think is what we tied. And that is on the Tiemco 2487. That's what we used just now. But send us your flies. If you're in Colorado, remotely close to Denver, come by and see us at Charlie's Fly Box on Friday or on Saturday, April 12th. And shoot us a note. Maybe we can have dinner or something. We'll be there from the 10th to the 17th. If there's something you'd like to see us tie on our show, let us know. We're always looking for new patterns, but typically, just like tonight and last time, we're just tying whatever we need to put in our boxes. So, nice little Barr emerger here designed by John Barr himself, and hopefully he'd be happy with that rendition. Like the trimmed suit tail and legs. It makes it a lot easier than having to do that. So Phil just said Steve Maldonado, Rick Takahashi, Rim Chung, and Katie and I will be hanging out at Phil's house tying. And that's when someone asked why, or someone said I didn't bring RS2s. I want to watch Rim Chung tie an RS2 and hang out with him, and I'll tie enough to fish while I'm there when I'm hanging out with Rim. Gary, I hope, fingers crossed, no spring storm, and it's hopefully the weather will hold out for us. Thank you, Christopher Rice. So guys, you guys make this show so much fun. We really appreciate you all chiming in, chatting. Magpie, me. Speaking of Magpie, the tailing I was using was from his Magpie Grizzly and Brown CDL tailing patch. It's actually a really good value. You get both the brown and the grizzly, but this brown I was using here was straight out of that pack right there, sitting on my desk. So yes, Craven a big hug. I will give Craven a big hug from you guys. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your colorful commentary. Unfortunately, I didn't break my thread once on this evening, but trust me, it'll be coming down the road. And I'll turn it over to Katie to say goodbye. If you have any questions at all while we're between now and next time we're live, let us know. But we'll see you soon. Katie?
Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.
Wrong camera.
Oh.
We'll try.
Bye, everybody. Have a good weekend. See you next time. Happy fishing.
See you guys. Thanks, Mike, Jason, Ken.